I'm trusting that this doesn't swing back at me, dude. You're not...
Because I haven't done a reverse edge cut with it yet. It should be
Why
fine.
am I doing it?
It should be fine.
It should be fine. Oh, all right, okay. Holy crap. This is far more effective than it should be.
We're what you call professionals.
Check out these awesome Shadowversity hoodies that we now have available for you guys right now.
These things we've been working on behind the scenes for a couple of months, and we are very proud to finally be bringing these things to you. They are based on the Brigandines that me and Shad both wear. Obviously those Brigandines are quite expensive, but everybody can pick up one of these for a nice affordable price.
I call these stealth medieval, where it's not so out of the ordinary. People think that's weird, why are you wearing it? But also to the keen observer, they will see that's a Brigandine.
Finally some merch that you can wear in public and it's okay. We're very happy to bring these to you guys. Links in the description, check them out. They support the channel, and yeah.
Really high quality, by the way. No expenses spared. These rivets are sewn on. We've got stealth logos. The material is nice. It's got you know, some thickness to it. I love them. This is gonna be a standard jacket I'm wearing. Check them out. Grab one yourself while they're there. Limited time, so grab them while we have them available. Greetings, I'm Shad.
And greetings, I am Tyrant.
And Tyrant, it's time
To what? Have a look at Bloodborne?
to talk about Bloodborne weapons.
I love Bloodborne.
You love it?
I love Bloodborne.
See, I have not played it.
We should.
It's on the list. But you know, Souls-like games, I need to pace them out a bit. I really enjoyed Elden Ring.
You've had a bit of controversy when it comes to them.
Just a little bit.
Because you don't really know what you're talking about.
I was right about everything I said.
Oh, hard disagree. But anyways, today we're going to be talking a little bit about Bloodborne and particularly the trick weapons.
What do you mean hard disagree?
There it is.
We need to debate this. We'll say that for maybe a... All right. Exclusive content.
Okay.
Okay. Tyrant is going to explain to me all the reasons why I'm wrong about Elden Ring, and I will disprove him. And you'll be able to see that in an exclusive video if you become a supporter.
Yes.
And so if you want to sign up, these are channel memberships on YouTube, Subscribestar, Patreon or Player, links in the description. We make exclusive content to our supporters, and there is heaps there already.
It helps support the channel and helps keep all the lights on, basically.
Yeah.
So I will make some... I will explain why Shad is wrong about Elden Ring. I got you guys, don't worry.
I'm right. It's not going to happen.
But
okay, Bloodborne.
yes, Bloodborne, specifically the trick weapons. It's because the trick weapons are an interesting one. And here I have a version of a saw spear, saw, whichever way around it goes, that I made.
Now, to let you know, Tyrant has a channel called Screen Tested where he builds a lot of these props, and he gets to test them out a bit as well. And then we, on Shadowversity, we also like to take some of the things that he makes and just talk about, I guess, the combative side, the stuff we do here on Shadowversity, how it fits in history, or also do some tests ourselves. Now, I have seen the Bloodborne weapons, okay? And my kind of opinion of them at the moment is that they are really fun, impractical fantasy weapons. Am I wrong?
It's kind of in between, right? Because a weapon like this, like first off, it's dangerous to the wielder, but it's also dangerous to the whatever you're attacking.
I mean, the issue I would have with this at the moment are actually the serrations.
Right.
Because we don't really see serrations in a lot of historical weapons. The closest you could say are the flame blade ones.
Yeah.
But serrations like this, like an actual saw, they're going to get stuck in the target a lot.
Okay, so I think we need to differentiate before all the comments come in. There is lore reasons why they would want serrations and stuff.
Oh, that I'm unaware of. What are
Well,
those?
it's basically because when the hunters were using these, they were trying to get as much blood on them as possible. But in terms of purely from a practicality standpoint, I think that in this closed position, it is very visceral to have these serrations on. Now, the reason why I say that is because if I hit you this way, it's going to rip and tear. But if I hit you this way, it's going to cut.
Okay. If you hit me that way, it will get stuck.
Most likely, yes.
But, all right, is the Bloodborne character super strong?
Well, yeah, I would say that
You would
there's
say
always
so?
some
Okay,
sort of,
well
yeah.
then that's the caveat that I think could justify it, because if you were a regular person in regular combat, the problem with serrations, like, I'm not saying they don't work, there's a reason why they're on saws, but they're made to function that way. A
Yes.
saw doesn't cleave through something in one go. You need to be going for a good moment. And you don't have that time in combat to like, oh, just wait, just stay
Right.
still while I saw you in half.
In terms of the closed ability, why they're like this, people will bring up that because of the streets of Yharnam are so enclosed, having this shorter reach allows them in the tight spaces. I'm not 100%
Yeah, I'm
sold
not
on that.
sold on that either. Is that accurate in size? I think the one
It's
in
a
the
little
game,
bit bigger. It's a little bit
yeah,
bigger.
the one in the
yeah.
game looks bigger.
I was limited by what I could actually
Yes,
get my hands
but
on, yeah.
I can extrapolate from what you have here to even something about yay size.
Yeah.
And people actually mistake the problems that certain weapons have in close confines. I can see it somewhat with a spear, and they usually say spears in like caves
Yes.
and stuff. Here's the problem. Who did this?
It's temporary, Shad.
It better be.
It's a little floppy. It's just temporary.
Okay. My point is, the problem about, you can't use spears in close confines is that, what if you just, all right, what if you did this? And you can still move around corners easy enough. You're choking it up. And also, spears mostly function forward and back. Like, they don't always, you could, but rarely ever in combat, in actual combat, you're like spinning it around in the whole martial arts thing where, keep going, but I'll stop. But no, spears, combat, mostly that.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
You could use that in close confines. And so if they're saying it needs this size weapon, then needs to fold up to be able to use in close confines, not from the size I'm seeing.
One caveat there is Shad's not talking specifically about the size of this. He's talking about even if it was bigger like a spear, it doesn't make much of a difference, which I tend to agree with for the most part. I do think that there might be maybe some defensive capabilities of having the serrations to maybe catch a blade or something. Like, there's...
Maybe, and look, going back to the superhuman thing, I think they could be justified if they were just superhuman, that a regular person would get caught, but if they were strong enough to just rip it through, that would cause horrifying, visceral damage. And if the purpose is to get more blood, that would justify it.
I can see that too. Now, when it comes out into its open position, that's where things get a little bit interesting, and the reason why is this handle here. Hold this handle, maybe give it a little bit of a swing around. Don't worry, there's a little bit of play in the blade. That's not dangerous. But it's interesting when you actually get, because you have that. It's fine, don't worry.
How fine is it, Tyrant?
I have already done proper cutting with it, and I've smashed it against things. It's fine. It's just a little bit of play. It's a little bit of play.
Well, if it breaks loose and hits you, I'm glad you're to blame then.
It's fine.
All right, so
Do a reverse edge.
what, like, if I was here, reverse edge like that?
Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? What's funny here is I went through the exact same process. The first time I tried to do a reverse edge, it felt weird. But the moment you do that, all of a sudden, it starts to click in your brain.
Yeah. So this is the angle of the handle.
Yeah.
That does give you more leverage. It's basically, well, this is interesting. It's an inverse kind of curve.
Yeah.
With an inverse handle. We see it on Dacian Falx, though that's just the blade being an inverse curve.
Yeah.
The handle, accentuating it, you get more leverage.
Yeah.
I would give you more power in it.
Now, purely, I think it's just so it doesn't cut your fingers when you have to hold it here like this.
Yeah.
But it is interesting when you go to do those reverse edge cuts, the leverage you can kind of generate.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I didn't actually bring it up in my video, and I wanted to make sure I brought it up in this one because it's fascinating. And all of the weapons, all of the trick weapons have those really curved handles. Some of them are reverse, some of them not. And it's just interesting where when you put these together, I do think that this would be I'm not going to say practical. I feel like practical is just a bit too far.
It's close to practical.
Close.
Because if this was just a standard weapon, forget the folding, without the serrations, it would be deadly.
Yes.
And there are some historical counterparts we could reference, like the Dacian Falxes, war scythes, they have a much longer handle, but the inverse curve. And so, absolutely functional. The serrations, we've already talked about, I think are justified for the world building.
Yep.
If this character
Yeah,
is
yeah,
strong enough, and the purpose is to bleed people
Yes,
out, that
yeah.
would just be right.
So, yep.
So I would actually say yes, functional.
The issues that I have with it are not like it's purely based on these types of weapons, and that is something with either an articulation, a pivot point,
Yes.
things like that. Because think of like a regular sword, right? A sword can break at the tang, maybe the crossguard can fail, maybe the blade snaps in half. You have all of that with this. Plus, you have the issue of a pivot and a mechanism that needs to. That's
'Cause
where I have my issues.
Where I was saying it was functional, it's functional in this shape.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's if I was to take it just as a weapon of itself.
Mm.
I am not sold on the functionality or the need for it to be folding.
Yeah.
I do not like the folded up version of it. It's just a less, functional weapon overall compared to just using it like this.
Yes.
And then the issues you raised, this does create a crucial weak point.
Weak point, yeah.
Right.
And that's the reason why, because this method here, I used the pin method
Yeah.
simply because there's no way that that's going to break unless something breaks in here.
Yeah.
The actual method is more akin to like a knife, things like it has a
Yeah.
mechanism.
Yeah, like a spring lock or something like that.
On my one, I'm like, no, I'm just going to put pins in there and that's strong enough. This is the biggest failure that I see in it. But I do actually kind of like the shape of this handle.
I kinda
with
like it.
a blade like this.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot more practical than I would have originally thought.
It's interesting. It has genuine merits to its concept and design, but some flaws. Though you could take those flaws out and still have this weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is I think this one might be one of the most practical of the trick weapons.
Yeah.
Because the saw cleaver kind of relies upon the closed position and the open position.
Does it?
So it's a little less functional than this one, right? And then you have something like the Beast Hunter Scythe, which is really cool. Basically imagine a scythe blade that flicks out to be a sword blade. It's kind of like that. Like there's some cool ones in there.
I've seen a couple of the weapons. Can't remember them all, but they always look just kind of fun fantasy
Yes.
stuff.
This one I started with because it was the most, I would say, it had the same things as the saw cleaver, but it's a bit more practical in its design.
It does. It looks like one of the more practical kind of Bloodborne weapons. What do you guys think? What do you think is the most practical Bloodborne one? And would they work in combat?
And don't worry, I plan on doing most of them. They're going to take a while, but you guys will see them eventually.
All right. My prediction is that this is going to be messy. It's made to be a messy weapon. All right. So let me just do a real basic cut to begin with, right at the tip of the blade here. Let's see what happens. As I predicted, messy, but it did get through.
It does get through, yeah.
This might be the intended result.
You got to hit right in the sweet spot
Right
as
in the
well.
sweet spot. I'll try again. Let's see. Going right there. Okay, are we ready? I skewered it. That's a deadly wound right there. All right. I want to hit with the serrations. I'm going to do reverse right on the serrations.
All
We
right.
need to see what happens. This is gonna be messy, man. I'm trusting that this doesn't swing back at me, dude. You're not.
Because I haven't done a reverse edge cut with it yet. It should
Then
be
why
fine.
am I doing it?
It should be fine.
It should be fine. Oh, look, I do not trust it. So I'm gonna go back to here. I'm just gonna hit it here. I don't care. I'm hitting here. Ready? Ah!
Straight in half.
That worked far better than I was
The
expecting.
serrations are sharp, Shad.
What happened then?
I've used the serrations. They are sharp.
The serrations got through.
Yeah.
I think I actually hit here.
I don't think you did. I think you hit the
All right, I'm
serrations.
coming in close. All right, okay. Holy crap! This is far more effective than it should be.
What do you mean? The serrations are not only serrations, but they are sharpened as well. So it will kill.
Okay, all right, I'm getting converted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to try a couple in the closed position?
All right. Yes.
You're gonna need gloves for this. These aren't my regular pins. So
It's okay. It's performing surprisingly well.
If they break,
Oh, that's what you're saying. You're.
they're not the actual pins I used in testing or anything.
There is a reason why I'm wearing these gloves. By the way, shout out to St. Mark's who sent us. These are light sparring HEMA gloves, and they're really good. They
Yeah.
got a good fit on them.
Yeah.
They almost broke the friggin' pin.
Like I said, these aren't the pins that I used. These just happen to be what we have here.
Look at the trust I'm putting into
This
Tyrant
one is,
here.
you know what? Actually, I don't trust this one.
I don't trust this one either. That's already hitting my ankles. We're cancelling that. We're not doing the fold-up attack.
You should be safe now, Shad.
Now.
But I don't.
Now, he says.
But I'm still not going to promise anything.
Of course. So,
There you go.
this more advanced pin
Yeah.
is a nail.
Yeah.
It's jamming a nail in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is total and
That's
complete
steel.
hillbilly science there, and I approve.
He'll probably be safe.
One-handed. One-handed on the straight. Oh. Bit slippery. There's no
that's the-
indexing.
yeah.
Look at this. It wants to slide out. Just have to grip it harder. On the serrations, one-handed, going down. Holy crap! That actually felt easy.
Yeah.
What's going on? What is going on?
Well, I mean, it's sharp edges, so, you know.
That is, but I've tested serrated blade before
Yeah.
in our zombie weapon, and it did not do as well as this.
Well,
Is
because
it because the serrations are bigger? And it's just like because you can see the parts where it's
Yeah.
digging into the
Rip
bottle,
and tear, yes.
which is just rip and tear.
Yeah, I think it probably is because they're bigger serrations. They're also sharpened on each side like a blade.
Yeah.
They're not just little cutouts. So I mean, hey,
This is throwing me. This is also these weapons are more effective than I was giving them credit.
they're sharpened pieces of steel with serrations. They are visceral things.
What about if? Look, when you hit something more resistive like clothing and stuff.
Yes, then
Probably gonna-
it'll probably rip and the clothes a bit. Yeah, but these are this one here is the saw spear saw. I can't remember which way around it goes. The other ones are a little bit more. One of them, I think you would like. I think the saw cleaver you wouldn't like, just because it's a bit more. This is more practical than that, I reckon.
I mean, you even have rope around it, and I'm hitting right where the rope is, and it's still getting through.
It's actually bandages because it's from Bloodborne. No, it's not rope.
Bandages, right? And that didn't even stop it.
Yeah.
And even though we have said resistant material worse, stronger person, if they could just tear it in,
Yeah.
that would do it. All right, this is confirmed. This is a legit actual weapon.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Only thing that I would knock on it is the closed position. Just be like, if you give me law reasons, sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of real world, I don't really find that much practicality in it personally. But that's where I stand on it.
There we go. Bloodborne, weapons, vindicated, validated. Drink it.
Nope.
Drink it.
Nope. Yes, Bloodborne, bring it to PC, please, Sony. Thanks for watching, guys. There'll be another video somewhere here.
Check out our carbon fiber sword one, where we
Yeah.
get to test out almost a science fiction weapon. And oh my gosh, that one surprised me too.
You can check out my channel. There'll be links below. And now it's time to go do the exclusive content where I prove Shad wrong about Elden Ring. Sounds good.
It's another chance.